Trump is setting the stage right now for the most explosive crypto rally we've ever seen. And if you're not paying attention, you're going to miss huge opportunities. Like, this is the time of your life, ladies and gentlemen, from a financial perspective, that you need to be dialed in. Today, he dropped some bombshells with some of his strongest crypto statements, and the promises he made on the campaign trail seem to be coming to fruition. But here's the big but, ladies and gentlemen. Despite what seems to be bullish across the board, there's actually quite a few people well respected in the space who seem to think that we've either market topped, meaning that the bull market's over, or seem to be quite bearish for some reason or not. So in today's video, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to tell you what the kind of macro and governmental political landscape is looking like and how it's evolved over the past day or two. We're also going to go into some of the concerns that some people have in the markets. We're going to address those and give you some alpha at the end. If you're excited for this, you should be. It's a really big show. Do me a favor, destroy the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Without further ado, guys, let's get into it. Quickly, we're just going to look at the Bitcoin chart. Not a whole lot, moving, mostly sideways, but still, hey, it's kind of going up over the almost 2 weeks. It's been on a slight upward. I mean, it's had up and downs, but still right direction, if you ask me. I know that some more inflows from the ETFs, not much, 188 million. Here's what Trump said at his virtual appearance at the World Economic Forum, where everybody, all political leaders and everybody, of course, listen to this speech, and this is part of it.
Make the United States a manufacturing superpower and the world capital of artificial intelligence and crypto. Make the United...
Bam, there you go. So saying it again, post inauguration, which is very, very bullish. We'll talk about more of that in the show today. So here we go. So a solid intel says Trump to hold call with President of El Salvador, Bukele. That could mean we've covered Bukele a lot on the channel before. I think that there's a lot of inspiration to take from him that Trump should be looking at. Alexander over here says, guess market expectations were that Trump would turn on a VPN, log in his VIP Binance account, and market buy Bitcoin. And people aren't seeing Bitcoin at 115,000, 120, so they're all freaking out. But Senator Cynthia Lummis is now the chair of Senate's Digital Asset Subcommittee. She's pushing the Bitcoin Act, aiming to create U.S. Bitcoin reserve of 1 million Bitcoin in 5 years. This is extremely, extremely bullish, much more of a bullish stance for acquisition of Bitcoin than Trump had himself. And I think not quite as aggressive as RFK's plan, but nonetheless, that's pretty great. And so since she's head of the subcommittee, I think she's gonna have a lot of influence there. Walter Bloomberg over here says, BlackRock CEO Larry Fink says, I want the SEC to rapidly approve the tokenization of bonds and stocks. Do you know why, ladies and gentlemen? Because there's something called the Texas Stock Exchange that Larry, BlackRock, and Citadel are building together that I believe will be a very modern exchange that trades probably 24/7, all assets trading there, stocks, bonds, whatever, will be tokenized and digitalized. And this will get rid of all of these stupid things like 9-to-5 trading and not open the weekends and slow settlement and blah, 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 and make this stuff instant on block, on chain, super fast. And that's why Larry is calling for that. It's my guess. Also, I'm sure his business is going to crush once they start tokenizing bonds and equity and things like that, stocks. So Boldy over here says, if you know how the US government works, this is extraordinarily bullish. Let me explain. Trump signed an executive order that directs government to keep the Bitcoin and crypto it's already seized or may seize. Now, we're going to come back to this part in just a second, but President can't order a purchase of new Bitcoin. So that's why Lummis made a big deal this morning about her appointment to the banking committee. The plan, it seems, is that Congress will draft a bill to order U.S. government to buy more Bitcoin. We'll see. But that does seem like what's going to happen. So this does two things. It stops the government from selling the Bitcoin it currently has, and it sets the stage for Congress to order the U.S. government to buy more Bitcoin, and we'll see. At this time, it's all speculation. I mean, it's intent, but, it still has to go through the whole process of Congress and voting and all these kind of things. Maine over here says, I think it's bullish. We clearly priced in part of Trump's trade from November to December with the move vertically from 60,000 to 100,000. That's pretty cool. Now we are seeing him come through with things he promised. No CBDCs, great. Clear regulatory framework for crypto in the US and an asset reserve, which could mean no more selling of seized crypto. Whether or not we do get some form of outright buying of BTC by the US government is yet to still be seen. But I don't see how you can look at what he's done so far and not believe that this is good for crypto long-term, obviously. To me, people are trading this very similar to actual Bitcoin ETF launch date. We had people open massive longs on the day of the ETF, went live, expecting it just to do a free ride from instant higher prices. Price went up on the application of the ETFs back in the summer of 2023, and then actually stalled and was short-term sell the news event when they actually went live. But of course, long-term it's bullish. Things just needed to run its course. And this feels about the same, he says. So listen to this.
The interest rates will come down.
You said that you would demand that the interest rates come down.
Well, I would put in a strong statement.
So Trump wants interest rates to come down. Why? Because the markets will do better. He'll look better as a president. If the markets crashed, he would look really, really bad. I think the real news here today is that the US citizens will finally stop being grouped in the same category as North Korea when it comes to crypto. Thank goodness. It would just, my entire career in crypto, it's the legal advice has always been stay out of USA, don't sell anything to US citizens, block US citizens, blah, blah, blah. It's horrible, horrible. And I think those days are probably over. Trump action to prohibit a US central bank digital currency, fantastic. President Trump signs crypto executive order to create a national digital asset stockpile. So notice they're actually calling this something different than the strategic Bitcoin reserve. Maybe it's the same thing with a different name and more broad purpose intentionally, or maybe they will do two things, right? Maybe there will be a Bitcoin reserve, and then maybe there's going to be another stockpile of other digital assets, which can include a bunch of things. It can include altcoins. It can include tokenized bonds and stocks when they eventually get them, et cetera, et cetera. We just don't know, but it's a broad term for digital assets, anything's digital assets. Eleanor Terrett from Fox News says, new per my Fox Business colleague, Edward Lawrence, the crypto executive order has been officially signed. We don't know that yet, but that's what rumor speculation is, and she's pretty good. So details of it are, this is from the executive order, the crypto one. The executive order establishes the Presidential Working Group on Digital Asset Markets to strengthen U.S. leadership in digital finance. The working group will be tasked with developing a federal regulatory framework governing digital assets, including stablecoins, and evaluating the creation of a strategic national digital asset stockpile. The working group will be chaired by the White House AI and crypto czar, David Sachs, and include the Secretary of the Treasury, the Chairman of the SEC, and the heads of other relevant departments and agencies. But David Sachs is the main guy here with the most influence. Now, why I think this is incredibly bullish for the industry, for startups, is because David Sachs, part of the All In podcast, that group of four gentlemen are usually earlier stage investors. They work with a lot of startups, and someone like Jay Cal, who's on the show with them, only exclusively deals with early pre-seed angel rounds, so they know the significance of an early stage company running and operating lean. And right now to go register a sale of a security with the SEC costs I think minimum $250,000 or something. Completely unfeasible for a new startup. So crypto startups, hopefully the process to register your new crypto startup in the States is something simple. Maybe it's an online form and a $1,500 fine or something like that fee. I don't know. That would, and maybe it takes 5 days to get approved. That would be incredible. That's what I've been hoping would happen for a long time. This is kind of what I've been thinking. And also the executive order basically repeals anything that Biden did with crypto. So that's good. Just in, SEC has repealed SAB 121, allowing banks to custody crypto. Remember, this was the law that we talked about that the Biden administration passed, which made it, if a bank wanted to hold crypto, they would have to add it on their balance sheet as a liability, which means it looked worse for stockholders, for their rules. It was horrible. So now that's been repealed. Now banks can start custodying crypto. This is going to be pretty wild. I want to be clear that the executive order doesn't say the government will hold all the coins it currently holds. It says this explicitly. The working group shall evaluate the potential creation and maintenance of national digital asset stockpiles and propose criteria establishing such a stockpile, potentially derived from cryptocurrencies lawfully seized by the federal government. So it doesn't say, essentially, well, you heard it. Not exactly true statements. That one is more accurate to what the text actually says. This is funny. ISP says, oh man, I wonder what kind of coins will be in the digital asset stockpile. And then he quotes this one here, ETH, Bitcoin, Aave, Link, Tron, ENA, and probably a lot more. These are all the coins that the government that currently holds that are worth over $1 million. So those will be in there. And those will be bullish for those coins. If you want to, if you're interested, you can pause the screen, take a look at them, and maybe you could DCA to some of those blue chips. Up to you. So here's some of the bearish perspective. This is Fefe from Banter. I love the guy. But he says, might be just me, but this is proper bearish short term. The working group will be tasked with developing a federal regulatory framework governing digital assets, including stablecoins, and evaluating the creation of a strategic national digital asset stockpile. This shows that they are not close to signing anything regarding the National Reserve. At least this is what I understand. I'd rather wait it out. I close 70% of my low leverage positions. For me, for me personally, this doesn't change. I mean, it's just the things that we talked about today, to me, are extremely bullish. And I don't think that any of us were relying on the US government to go pump our bags to Valhalla, because Trump's speech at Bitcoin, at the Bitcoin conference, all he did was say that they're going to keep the Bitcoin that they currently have. They didn't talk about buying any more. So not in my mind, I've never counted on the US government coming in and just market buying a bunch of Bitcoin. So if anything right now, we're going to see probably a lot more buy-in from maybe banks are going to start holding it out on their balance sheet. It just became way more clear to Americans that crypto is legit, and now they can start buying it in many, many ways. I also saw something, I don't remember if it's in the show, but I also saw something earlier where JP Morgan said that they're open to custodying and offering crypto as well. Might be speaking too early, but good news sold off again by the market concerning, to be honest. He's concerned, it's Will Clemente, that the market sold off. I don't know why. I mean, to me, this just feels like normal market volatility. For me, I'm personally not very worried at all. This is just an opinion piece from Diamond Hands thinking why the market is acting the way that it is, and basically saying that there's a lot of people have PTSD still, and it's not a good feeling to see your portfolio at the top of the market and then not sell anything and then watch that go down like 90% and just watch your once riches turn into dust. So I think a lot of people still have PTSD and just forget that market cycle, like market cycles have been 4 years historically so far for the entire life of crypto. Doesn't mean that can't change, but everything, all the indicators, technical indicators, like nothing to me screams that we're at the top, but some people think that we are. Okay, guys, here's another piece of interesting news. I actually just watched the reveal for this. The service is called Operator. So OpenAI announces first AI agent who can book flights and complete other purchases for users, $200 a month for a limited number of US customers. It's something that allows you to use, gives the AI, like OpenAI, access to your desktop. I don't like that idea at all, but I can see that it's just an evolution. And they did say in the demonstration that it was going to be buggy in a little bit and stuff like that. They showed them buying some pizza and some other stuff. Very simple tasks like booking something at OpenTable. But I can see, we talked about in the show too, how when these things get really smart and really safe, and we can trust that they're not going to like hack us or sell our data or something like that, it can be incredibly useful. I mean, you can just assign a bunch of tasks to your computer and then get back, go for a walk, and come back in an hour, and like your whole days of work is done. Pretty crazy. As it evolves, right? Maybe that's in a year from now, I don't know. So just a little bit about it. Operator is based on a new model we're calling Computer Using Agent, CUA. CUA combines GPT-4o vision capabilities with advanced reasoning through reinforcement learning. It's trained to control the computer in the same way a human would. It looks at the screen, uses a mouse and keyboard. The model still has limitations. Okay, so here's a couple of just things that I think are interesting. So 0x Jeff says basically that the AI XPT agent version of Cookie Agent Cookie Fun is coming next week. So you know, remember how we talk about Cookie Fun all the time, this site? Now they're creating an agent like AIXBT that's going to be trained on a bunch of things like AIXBT, plus have access to this kind of proprietary data set that, I mean, and Cookie, this parent company of Cookie is called Cookie 3. We invested into it. It does way more than just AI agent stuff. It does all crypto data. And so this agent Cookie is going to give crazy alpha. I think that'll pump the price personally of Cookie a lot. Like his AXBT is valued more than Cookie, and Cookie is like a real product sitting at 360 fully diluted, 130 market cap, and AXBT is like 900 or something like that. And so, I mean, and Cookie does way more. Again, we talked about Cookie many times on the show. Still very bullish. Like I said, I invested in the company in the seed round and still haven't sold any tokens. So this is really interesting. So OpenAI's computer agents was announced, the operator thing. Desktop automation is the next frontier. Perfect timing. Our infra is ready. Viral, hashtag viral, community is growing, and we're creating the first open desktop data set that doesn't exist yet. Companies like OpenAI could use. So this is what they call the training gym, where you can go train the data set and help improve this model. I don't really know why they need a token necessarily. Oh, I guess to pay people, and maybe means a payment. But this is it. It's called Viral. And Viral remains one of the strongest bets for the next leg of the market. Dips continue to be eaten. Mind share continues to rise. Now number 8 across all AI infra. And basically allows people to perform tasks and get paid to do it. So you can go help train the model. So it's on Sol, and it has right now a $15 million FTV. I think that's pretty cool. It's still not super expensive. It was launched 1 month and 5 days ago, but you can see it's been going viral or vertical recently. You know, so maybe a DCA in, I'm not really sure. I haven't bought it yet, but I think I probably will. The next one is this creator bid. And it's kind of like a virtual competitor. Create and tokenize your AI agents in under 1 minute. It's basically the same, but I think people are just are buying it because they think maybe it's gonna be the next virtual, right? And they sold out their $2.5 million raise in 3 minutes, which was crazy. And they did it on their own platform. Shows you how much interest is in the AI agent space and the AI agent launchpad space. This is the dashboard for this creator bid. 4,256 agents created. The total market cap of all the agents that were created from creator bid is 78.8 million. Total membership value is 21 million. Tokens with memberships, 112. So I guess what happens is that if you launch an agent, you can buy a membership to it. And then that's probably what includes in this price over here. And agents created, the fees, 408,849, charts up and to the right, very bullish. And there's 2 tokens, one's on BNB and the other one's on base. So to get an accurate representation of the actual value or the market cap, these DEX screeners and stuff don't do it, because one says 100 million, the one says 40 million. So we actually need to combine those to get a fully diluted valuation of 140. Still seems pretty low compared to, you know, virtual at 2 billion. So potentially a lot of room to go. And look at that trading volume, $87 million, definitely getting a tons of attention. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up today. I found it incredibly valuable, super interesting, super bullish myself personally. I'll catch you guys soon.